to fix the lighting. I didn't comb my hair much today, so it's a little funny looking. I'm actually 51, but anyway, it's Alan. Again, Targ individual. For people who don't believe, because it sounds too weird. If somebody was to describe this to me, I would have a hard time believing it, except when you live it and you know it's real. It's like when the FBI, it's the same thing as Havana Syndrome. Hi, Home Slice. Howdy, it's good to see you. When you have it, see, I went 30 years from about 87, 88 when I broke my arm, and they fixed it. They did a good job there. And for 30 years, and the only thing that helped me hang on, because what happens is that you get these you don't know what it is. You just know your side pain. It's this chronic, and there's something here to where you can't feel your natural feeling or your emotions right here. You can understand things are good, bad, or or stress, anxiety, but you don't feel a lot of right here, your strong emotions. And you don't know why. Is it psychosomatic? Is it something? And it's not until Havana Syndrome came in, and then the targeted individual. It wasn't until actually the voice thing happened. And you didn't know there was a name for it. You just know somebody's messing with you. And I had no enemies at all in Dallas or in Salem, where I'm at now. But I was very good-natured, peaceful. When it started with me, I was going high school and then going to Bible college, studying to be a minister. But they did this to me anyway, so it didn't matter. I was studying to be evangelical, apologist, theologian. That's what I wanted to at that time. And so I kept studying that for 30 years. And so there's a lot of books out there in the TI community about promoting, and I hope if it helps people, I hope if it brings people to faith, and I think it's a great thing. I think really good. I just know in my own case, I studied to be a minister. And yet, so for me, that's literally the one thing I spent all my time doing was studying apologetics and studying religious and atheistic stuff, because everything was apologetics and trying to prove this, and understanding people who have left faith, became atheists, and people who left atheism, became religious. So I studied that for years, and apostates, including people of other religions like Islam or Judaism, or just studying that. So that's what I spent my entire life, was studying this stuff of religious and apologetics. And I hope that'll help people with the TI program, and maybe even get them out of it. It'd be great. But I don't think people should feel if they're in this program, it's because they did something wrong or they did something evil. It's like, if they spiritualize it, it's an electronic technology. And somebody just decided to experiment on me, because I was a guinea pig, and I was good-natured and quiet and nice. And they thought because I was so nice and polite that maybe I wouldn't, easy to get along with and wouldn't kick up a fuss. So, and Home Slice, pressure points, the egregia in the side pain by intestines is how we feel certain emotions. Yes, well said. Think of like an ancient people did, the second heart of the brain. Oh, I didn't know that part. Receptors and the like. Yeah, I could see that part. Because some people get hit in the brain, constant headaches, and it's the best part is see what has happened to me, Home Slices, and other TIs, is about eight times, maybe even 9 or 10. But it was this constant for years, still have it. But they've turned off that thing on the side, and my heart right over here, and the emotions, like a muscle, it just relaxed. And these emotions and the feeling came instantly back within 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And it stayed for like hours. And at first you're thinking, well, I got healed, and and I just tried to, maybe God healed me, or did I, there wasn't like a new medicine that I had tried that instantly, or I meditated a new technique or meditation or something. But it wasn't until V2K, and it's like, oh, this is happening to other people, and it's Havana Syndrome. It's a technology with that people are getting hit with, and I'm a target individual, and the sound of voices, that's voice to skull, and it finally, that rally in Portland, I only live an hour away. I'm in Salem, and it answered all my questions. And I mean, except it makes you look at the people in your hometown a lot differently. Because where I've gone through it 1,000 times, never had problems. I thought everybody in my town, pretty good people, didn't have any enemies, but I was always every second in pain. It's not like I didn't have a bad life. I had nice parents. I saw a wonderful mom. My sister's good. I don't like my brother. Hate him. But as far as, it wasn't bad, but it was just this constant chronic pain. And I worked as a CNA, as a caregiver in a nursing home, and for 8 years, 2 full-time jobs. But I had pain medication to help with that. So, but you just want someday somebody to heal your issue, or a doctor to heal it, or give you a medication that will stop it and help you. I never once ever thought that I was an experimental guinea pig. I don't know if they didn't allow that thought. It's like when you have that weird way of understanding how that technology, how they can do that, and you can hear through V2K. It's kind of like with V2K, they can do things subliminal, like whispering, or even lower than a whisper, that somehow you can hear it, or it leaves like a seed of a thought into your consciousness. But if you're still alive after 20 or 30 years, they just raise the volume, and now you've got V2K. Your neighbor next to you can't hear it, but you can hear it. And it's just, the Navy started with experimenting with this stuff, and it was the microwave hearing effect by Alan Frey, and it's silent, but you can hear it. And I forgot the mnemonic for it that the Navy has, but anyways, V2K, the Frey microwave hearing effect. So, but it was interesting is that they turned off. I didn't know what it was, but it was like they had this constant, when you wake up after a surgery and you're under anesthesia, and then they just keep this chronic low frequency electronic biometric, whatever, or steno receiver, like a Delgado called it, the guy with the bowl. Anyway, it's this low frequency, constant electronic low frequency going to the heart that causes this area by the heart to where because you're waking up from a surgery, and it's always on you every second, and it's always very, very lowly going. Zzz. You can't, but you just know something's off, and it's not so out there that you can feel like it's nothing like that, but it's so low frequency. It's just enough to where that area is like a diameter of blocking everything off, and that includes your feelings, your emotions, and that area causing a pain, this chronic pain. And it wasn't until 30 years of V2K, Havana Syndrome in the news, and then during that time a few times, and since then even, they have turned it off, and that it just came right back for a few hours every time. It just came right back, and I felt normal. It felt wonderful, and it's like, this is how I'm always supposed to feel, always supposed to be this way. But the people in my hometown went along with this drain the swamp, very religious town. I couldn't, and they kept it from me. At least the news and Targ Individuals and Ella Free and Dr. Matt, at least they allowed me to know finally after 30 years what was going on. So sorry, Home Slice, I was thank you. The side of my intestine, yeah. You get it bad too. It's like, yeah, it's like butterflies in your stomach. They block. Yeah, it's like it does make you feel like a zombie. Ikator in Melanie Vishram in Ikator in Europe says it's about against the robotimization of living beings. That's, I guess Ikator stands for something like that. Against turning human beings into robots, and that's this technology V2K, this turning the heart and the emotions off just to turn people into stony robots. And that's kind of what Duncan's book is describing too. I thought it was because I was taking my Christianity too seriously. You know, you die to yourself, pick up your cross, and constantly picking up your cross, trying to do what you think is. I thought it was dying to yourself. And if you're dying to yourself, you're not going to feel very alive. And so I kind of, in my own heart and mind, thought, well, maybe it was because of the studying the faith, the doubts and faith and all that stuff. And literally, I thought that's what it was. But it really was, I was being tortured by people in my own hometown. And they're religious too. So that's, what the fuck's that about, you know? There's some really good ones in there. I was raised, I didn't have any enemies. And yet they thought it was okay to torture me for all these years, never tell me what was going on, never, they were just waiting for me to die to get money off it. And I saw the White House bioethics video of all these other Targ individuals. So it's real. So, and all these books that came out. So I've been doing a lot of research. You know, Home Slice, on my created playlist on my YouTube, look at my name, Alan Brewer Nielsen. There's a bunch on my created playlist, lots of stuff to study and a lot of stuff. So I wish somebody had showed me this stuff. So under the 9 hertz, I wish I studied the science more. I spent all my years, you know, some people study or go into heroin and they say they wasted their life in drug. I went into studying all this religion and apologetics and theology. And I know, even though people think, well, that's a good thing. And it's like, well, yeah, I could have studied science. I could have studied, it's like, I didn't get in trouble, but life should be more than just being nice and good and not getting in trouble either. Should be able to have fun. But of course, if the people in your town are torturing you and to where you can't feel it, it promotes Anhedonia, like where you can't feel it because they block this. They block that ability to feel. So, and you know that the religion sometimes can be interpreted as, you know, if you're religious, you're, you know, you got to love God, not love fun or not love enjoyment. Like in the last days, there'll be lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. And so it can be this anti-fun, anti-pleasure, and, you know, and there is a history of that. So a lot of, you know, what would Jesus do becomes a type of masochism if taken to an extreme anti-self, you know, dying to self, anti-self way of thinking or feeling. But if you're getting tortured by people, then that's another. It's like, oh shit, these people are torturing me and getting money for it. So, and yeah, it makes you realize the people in your hometown. I'll put it this way. In our secular schools, we have weekday school of the Bible in our secular school. So that's what kind of, you know, very, very good people all these years, I thought. So, hey, Declan. Oh, yes, I do understand. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I understood the hurt stuff, and I always wondered. So I always wonder if a great deluge, if we have started over before. Gilgamesh story, nice. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Oh, shit, yeah. Got some good old stuff in the house there. Yeah, it's like I like to hear what other people think, whether different religions or people who are atheists, because I still believe the design argument, the anthropic, or the design argument makes more overwhelmingly. And And I think free will proves there's a soul, a dualism. But to say people don't have free will, that's just stupid. We know that we can make choices. We know we make choices all the time. And we get angry at people and make shitty choices. And we praise people because we know they could have done otherwise. We know we could. Sometimes, if people get drunk or stoned, it takes away our, gives us some of our inhibition to know better. But we know that we make choices. So just have fun with yourself one day. I don't care if they're materialistic determinists or if they're Calvinists, double predestination Calvinists that don't believe in free will. I mean, it's just because it's just, anyway, yeah, I go off on tangents there. So it's about 7:25, and this is the time I always got to go and make my mom some dinner. She's going to be home pretty soon. So anyway, I just wanted to agnostic. Yeah, that's an honest way to be. I think the best Christian apologetic book that was convincing, I thought, was J.P. Moreland's Scaling the Secular City. But I think there's the Freedom from Religion Foundation for people who are atheists. I still think the design argument made a huge comeback. It just did. It just did. But for people who want to, if they're okay in their atheism and are happy with it, there's the Freedom from Religion Foundation. So I'm not trying to convert people to anything. So, but all right, Home Slice and Declan. And if there are people at the Fusion Center, have a good week. Please don't be zapping or doing those little things with the dream stuff. And it's been 36 years for me. So just please just heal me. 36 years, just stop doing that. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys sometime this week, okay? All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.